Now I'm coming back to the microphone. There we go. So how you doing, Willow? You having a good day? Move this over here. Let's get some headphones on. And let's get to the objecting, shall we? That's what this game's all about, is objecting. Why is that not going away? Okay, that's weird. Sorry, one sec. No, I'll deal with that later. That was actually correct protocol, so good on that person. Decent but pooped. Very fair. I've been there many times in my own past. Fuck, there we go. Alright. Alright. Got that plugged in. Here we go. Let's Ace Attorney investigate. Oh, there's my controller. Also important. This game's presented, etc. Experience. I did not get to read that whole thing, and I never noticed it before now. I think it was an epilepsy warning, though, which is a good thing to have. Though I really think in especially flashy games, they should have to word it differently. Oh, whoops. Now we're going to load. Turnabout ablaze. Middle. Shi Long Lang pushes back. All right. So we're gonna get the big reveal that I predicted pretty quick here by the look of it. Because we've been... Miles and Sheena have been sniping at each other for a bit. Hey, Beekeeper. Been here in lurk mode, posting so I could briefly as a chatter. Much appreciated. Hopefully you'll enjoy the next game I'm playing a bit more. It's got that detective air to it, but it's not the same kind of humor. March 14, 7:44 p.m. Theatrum Neutralis lobby. I like Theatrum Neutralis. That's some good, presumably fake Latin right there. You ever see a game get something exactly right and immediately know that it was not intentional? That happens in Ace Attorney sometimes. Count up! 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Shifu, 99 callouts, so all 99 members are most likely here and accounted for, sir. Hey, you! Yeah, you! The second number one from my right. My right-hand number one, you might say. Sir, yes, sir? Here, a birthday present for you. What? Shifu, I didn't know you knew all of our birthdays. What a kind heart you have. Shifu, you're more of a man than we'll ever be, sir. I'm really sorry, but it's not my birthday. Is this about to break bad? Long Shi says, a cub who disrespects others soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. This Long Shi seems like a real asshole. That present isn't for you. It's for your younger brother's wife's younger brother. Tell him I said hi and happy birthday, won't you? Yes, sir. That's impressive. He knows the birthdays of his men's spouse's siblings? Or is this guy just afraid to tell him that he's unmarried? Shifu, I can't believe you remember that much about each of us. Shifu, I'm so moved that I can't stop crying. I should probably leave them to their alone time. All right, meeting's over. Everyone, head for your posts. Dismissed! Sir! Yo, were you guys there the whole time? I got a call from Sheena, and she's already filled me in. It sounds like you're out to get in my way again. I have absolutely no intention of interrupting your investigation. I simply request that you grant me permission to investigate the Alabastian embassy. Huh. And what if I say no? Agent Lang, this man is my subordinate. As I have received permission from the ambassador, he is to be extended the same rights. Sorry, sis, but it's not that simple. Alabast has the strictest immigration regulations in the world, or didn't you know? It's basically America. Even among my elite men, about only half of them were admitted into the country. Besides, any more cooks in the kitchen and we might spoil the soup, if you know what I mean. How dare you make such assumptions? Don't take this the wrong way, but I thought I was in charge of Alabast, Ms. Von Karma. Ugh! Look, try to understand, okay? Things over in Alabast are a bit of a mess right now. What do you mean by a bit of a mess? I only just realized that he has the name of an animal and then also has very similar hair to Phoenix. Because his name means wolf, right? I think he said that. What do you mean by a bit of a mess? No one told you. We had an incident in Alabast as well. This is what we call a decision based on the investigation, Mr. Prosecutor. Look, Wolfie, just let us in already. Is there a problem here, Agent Lang? I'm very old. Not really. Just having a discussion about whether or not to let these guys in. Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please allow these people to join the investigation. Having a debate because of my country. I'm terribly sorry for placing you good people in that kind of situation. This guy's guilty of something, I just don't know what yet. It is all because I lacked the strength to govern well. Please, it's nothing of the sort, Ambassador. You weakling Quercus! Call your frailty and inability to effect change in your country! Curse your frailty and inability to effect change in your country! What are you... The thing is, investigations conducted in my country have been under Agent Lang. And it is my judgment, in order to minimize disruption in the investigation. Hey, Bad Road. I should leave everything up to Agent Lang. He's some kind of minister in Alabast, and he talks in a really manipulative way by you know, anytime someone gives him a side eye, he starts hitting himself. At least that's how I assume. He's only done it once. I should leave everything up to Agent Lang. There, you see? Oh, no way. Hold it! Oh yeah, this guy too. These guys are both the worst. Ambassador Alba, I ask you to please reconsider letting them into Alabast. What's that? My very own secretary has been murdered in the Babalese embassy. And he was apparently caught up in some very shady dealings unbeknownst to me. So I ask for your cooperation in our investigation. He does look like a tree, doesn't he? These aren't much, but I hope they can cover your travel expenses to Babel someday. All right, I get it. Even if you beg Ambassador Alba, I still have to give the final okay anyway. All right, hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? We are in. Not so fast, my little crow girl. which I guess is supposed to sound like cowgirl, but it doesn't really work when said out loud, you're still a witness in the Babel murder. So I'd like you to please stay in the Republic of Babel. Detective Gumshoe, please take good care of Kay for me. Yes, sir! And I was hoping to have Gumshoe with us. Then again, I always hope that. Sounds good to me. The fewer troublemakers, the better. Coffee. It's too hot to take a big sip of just yet, so, you know. What are you gonna do? Rasp. I guess that's like... I don't know how well that came in through the mic, and I'm very sorry. I'm sucking my teeth directly at the mic. I forgot about his double eye patch sunglasses. They weren't in his portrait there, but they were on his sprite. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? So I wanted to ask for a while now, but that lady over there, is she who I think she is? Oh, that's right. I didn't introduce the two of you yet. Franziska von Karma, the prosecutorial prodigy. It's nice to see you again. Oh, I knew it! You're the whip lady! You may address me as Ms. von Karma. Do you suck your teeth at me? I do suck my teeth, sir, but I do not suck them at thee. Oh, fuck. I gotta admit, Shakespeare, really clever writer. Really, really big on the wordplay, that guy. It's basically his generation's Homestar Runner. That sounds diminutive, but it's not. It's a huge compliment. Ms. von Karma, I leave the investigation of Alabast in your hands. Thanks. Rest assured, I will outsmart both the smuggling ring and the Yatagarasu. Smuggling ring, huh? Perhaps I should ask Franziska a bit more about them before I head into Alabast. Ah, and I mustn't forget to thank Ambassador Paleno for all that he's done for me. Alright, so we just gotta talk to everyone, I guess. You've made so much progress in your investigation in such a short period of time. It's truly amazing. Agent Hicks, whose help I requested, was cut down before he completed his task. There's no room for further failure in my perfect investigation. I forgot about how her hair is made up of squares. In spite of that, I believe you were able to obtain some insight into the ring, correct? Oh, I know how she gets her hair like that. She bathes in bismuth. Square, there you go. In spite of that, I believe you were able to obtain some insight into the ring, correct? It was nothing. I simply made some deductions based on the smuggling item the smuggled item I was following. You mean the Babelese ink? But why are there restrictions on the export of Babelese ink to begin with? That's classified Infopol Franziska, as your subordinate, I am a part of your investigation now. Don't you think it would be beneficial if I was as well informed as you? God damn, he knows just how to get under her skin. They are definitely siblings, even if they won't say it. Point taken. Very well, I'll fill you in. Recently, we discovered some very well-made counterfeit bills circulating in Zenfa. Counterfeit bills? Yes, as you may have deduced, the counterfeits are being made with Babel's special Babelese ink. And it's virtually impossible to distinguish bills made with Babyliss ink from real ones. Thus, it was only natural for Interpol to keep an eye on the Republic of Babel. That's where this document comes into play, correct? Correct. Mr. Colchin was smuggling large amounts of Babyliss ink. Furthermore, he was charged with running the embassy's printing equipment. That's all the evidence I need to know that he was in the head of the smuggling ring. No, not likely the head of it. However, there remains one tiny problem. Let me guess. You still have yet to find the counterfeit bills or the smuggled ink. Yes, and while we're listing things, I might as well add the counterfeit plates to the pile. Since we haven't been able to locate any of these items in the Babyliss embassy, we're looking into the Alabastian embassy next. It doesn't matter where they're hidden. Mark my words, I will find them. Detective Gumshoe, I'm counting on you to keep Kay safe. Yes, sir. You just leave everything to me, sir. And don't worry, I'll take care of Gummy for you. We'll go investigate into the Babyliss side of things together. Right, Kay? That's right, Gummy. All they're missing is the last stooge. Kay, I'm glad you were not hurt, but please refrain from such recklessness, all right? What if you had run into the Yatagata? You could have been killed. Sorry to make you worry like that. I'll be more careful from now on. Good girl. It's good to conduct some self-reflection every once in a while. It's funny, you know, when I talk with you, Mr. Edgeworth, it's like I'm talking with my father. Huh. Is that so? Do I really seem that old to her? I mean, you are like, what, at least 10 to 15 years older? Ambassador Poleno, I'm in your debt. No, it's nothing. Because it's all I can do for you, I'm afraid. I only ask that you please bring Manny's killer to justice. I will, Ambassador, on my honor. Wow, you're so sensational. You've really piqued my curiosity. I know they aren't much, but know that I'm giving them to you wholeheartedly. Are they coupons? No, that's quite all right. Oh, well, how about this then? Hey, it's some Bink. They actually call it Bink, I just noticed that. And what exactly is it? It's fountain pen ink. Known as Babyliss ink, it's made exclusively in Babel. So this is Babyliss ink. We make it from wit crystal oil, which is mined through our mineral mines in the world of Monster Hunter Wilds. Please accept this ink. One dip of your fountain pen in this, and you can write for hours in your organizer. How fortunate for me. The ink in my pen just happened to have run out. I gladly accept your gracious gift. Great. Wonderful. I guarantee to you that writing with our ink is an unforgettable experience. And since we don't export it, if you run out, you're always welcome to come and visit our fair nation. Is this a bribe? Very possible. I think it might also be a Brinby. I've got a new word. Talk about cornering the customer along with the market. Well, shall we get going? Hold it! What's wrong? Oh, that was her. I thought it was gonna be Detective Bad because of the fucking timing. What's wrong, Kay? I didn't get permission to enter Alabast. So we're gonna go gather whatever info we can on the Babyliss side, okay? Alright, I'm counting on you two. Right, and I'm counting on you and Ms. Von Karma to sniff out clues in Alabast. Oh, and Mr. Edgeworth, if you happen to come across my phony, you let me know, okay? If you tell me, I'll rush on over straight away no matter where you are. I'll let you know when the time comes. Brinby, a bribe that does not actually influence anyone's behavior. March 14, 8:17 p.m. Alabastian Embassy, Ambassador's Office. Okay. Was there another murder? This is starting to feel familiar. Huh? Gah! What do you think you're doing to my subordinate? You're... Edgy! Oh, thank heavens you're here! Oh, fucking hell. This fucking guy. Oh my god, I thought we'd seen the last of him. And now he's the steel fucking samurai. I'm in a really, really big pickle, your lordship. The raven, it appeared and poof and then disappeared, swoosh. And though I am the steel samurai, my sword, oh, I'm so confused. I don't know what anything means anymore. Who is this fruitcake? I'm assuming she means an old version of the word fruitcake that meant mentally unwell, which is still not good, but at least it's not homophobic. It's just ableist. Thanks, Franziska. I am Larry of the House of Butts, married man of Neo-Old Tokyo, milady. Oh my god, that explains the fucking illegible handwriting on the... Oh my god, he's been here the whole time. Now I remember. This person is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles? Well, the character is married. You realize that makes the Pink Princess our other bad... Oh, no. Yes, frighteningly enough, he is. Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud's in a bind and you act like it's no big deal. Look, Edgeworth has 3 best buds, okay? Phoenix Wright, Maya, whose name I actually have forgotten despite it being said like 900 times, and Gumshoe. You do not even rank, bud. Your best bud's in a bind and you act like it's no big deal? What sort of bind are we talking about here? The suspect kind. I accidentally became a suspect in a murder. I see. That is quite the bind, and also something that's happened to you a lot of times. Not that we're in the least bit surprised. Yes, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlucky face. His name is Larry Butts. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he has been the world's biggest source of trouble with a capital T. Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. Oh, right, I forgot. Inner monologue is out loud here. If you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by 1. That was uncalled for. Besides, you're... Wait, hold on. Larry! It was you?! You're the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph? Huh? Oh, you didn't notice earlier? I've been winked at you through the headpiece. What's going on? And why are you beat red? Just a sec. Can I just bring this up now? Well, there he is. You know, if Larry's telepathic, it would explain why he says so many weird things out. You know, you're right. In such an odd way. I do like that we can now see Callisto, you, and Sheena. And they've all made their facial expressions just big enough, or just ambiguous enough and different enough from each other that you might not catch it immediately. That's actually really well done. It's like they're both drawn on the same base on DeviantArt. What's going on? And via you be red. Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now? Hold it! Oh, sorry. Am I interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play? Still don't think they look alike? I still do. Aha, so this is the incident you mentioned earlier. Mr. Prosecutor, this man, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. Of what, you ask? Of the murder of a man who had snuck into this embassy, masked Damask II. What? Who is masked Damask II? I don't like this. Masked Damask II? Oh no! Only Larry could get himself into yet another mess as fine as this. But no matter what the facts seem to say, Larry is not the type to commit murder. Still, it's a rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry Butts is innocent of all wrongdoing. Again. Shifu, we've identified the victim. Good work. I'll take that report now. Agent Lang, would you mind if I took a peek as well? What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that one wolf is me. So no, you may not take a peek. But Agent Lang... Hey, there's Detective Bad. I knew he was going to show up eventually. Agent Lang. Will you allow an investigator such as myself to take a look? Oh, yes, of course. You. Let the detective see the file. You're Detective Bad. You're, the prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth, right? Fancy meeting you here, Detective. You weren't expecting me. Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased after the Yatagarasu non-stop. Not you, Bad. I even pressured Interpol into keeping me in the loop, in case a card was ever found. What incredible dedication to the case. Detective Bad knows the Yatagarasu's MO very well. And his passion for the chase hasn't died down in these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But Detective Bad, I must ask, are you gonna make an ally out of this prosecutor? My only goal is to arrest the Yatagarasu. If he can get to the bottom of this case, then I'm willing to share info with him. I'm in your debt, Detective Bad. About the murder of Master Mask 2, would you be willing to fill me in on a few of the details? When the Yatagarasu showed up, Agent Lang and I took ourselves off guard duty and put ourselves in charge of directing things at this crime scene. Taking advantage of the chaos, the Mask 2, he broke into this embassy. Probably to steal some treasure in them. And I suppose he lost his life when he was forced to fight someone else in this room. There's the new knife set. I'm curious about this because we know the handles seem to be interchangeable. Why exactly was the man placed under arrest, Detective? That samurai. He was born looking suspicious, but not for the reasons you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he is completely harmless. Well, it was just a random guess. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, here at the Alabastian Embassy, Ambassador Alba was to give a commemorative speech. And that's when the Yatagarasu showed up. But keep in mind, the Yatagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. Those seats for the guests who had been called to sit in them were empty. A no-show? Who was it that failed to take their seat? The Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Steel Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in a different location than his assigned room at that time. So who do you think is playing the Pink Princess? Do you think it's going to be Wendy again? And where was he? He was on the roof. One of his legs down a chimney. Yeah, that does actually sound like Larry. You do think it's gonna be Wendy? That chimney leads directly into this room. Ugh. Larry Butts, you have really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking? In any case, I believe it's high time for me to start my investigation. Begin investigation. Larry, what the fuck? I mean, Larry, there are a few things I need to ask you about. Hey, how about that? I got a few things I've got to ask you, too. What is it? It's hard to escalate my Larry voice after Phoenix Wright 3. Like, holy shit. I don't know where to go from there. I think I'd already reached maximum Larry. What is it? It's like both you and him. How is it that the two of you always manage to have some cute or hot girl by your side? I hate this man so much. And Franzi, what about that promise you made to me? Promise? What promise? The one where you said you'd model for my next book, Franzi's Whippity Whip Trip? Ow! I made no such promise. She's right. Ever since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. If something stinks, it's probably the butts. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers. As I recall, aren't you calling yourself Loris Donim now? That's Donim. Loris Donim. Get that straight in your head, Edgy. You're edgy, hedgy. Ow! Now I remember. You're that rude, pale imitation of a real artist. No, you got it all wrong. I gave up on that whole Loris business. How did I just... Okay, that was weird. One of my back buttons on this controller, because of how probably JJ set it up, is making the text box disappear. No, you're all wrong. I gave up on that whole Loris business. Besides, when Bongelina left me and my heart in pieces, well, that's when Mindy walked into my life. She's been so good to me that I wanted to help her in some way. And I figured I could through the Steel Samurai outfit. Your inane blathering makes less and less sense each time we meet. Again, she's right. I believe he's saying that he picked up this part-time job as the Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of the actress who plays the Pink Princess. You got it. I know what I meant. I knew you'd know what I meant when I said to her, me, you, edgy. Not really. It's not so much as I understood, but simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi, Larry. Now it has to be Old Bag, right? Her name is even Mindy. What if she's actually Old Bag's sister? That'd be wild, right? What's the janitor's name in Archie Comics? He's Swedish. I think he might be named Sven. For some reason, there's this comic. So, I used to read a lot of Archie comics. Which, by the way, are like the most progressive comics on the planet now. Mr. Svensson, thank you, Bad Road. I remember there was this comic where Principal... God damn it, it's not Beasley. Beasley's the teacher. Anyway, the principal hires a double. I don't remember the reason. I think it was so that people would think that he was watching them, which is weird. Weatherby, thank you. I love that y'all just know these. That's excellent. And he hires himself a double, and Svensson has a stroke, basically. Just saying two of them. And that's what I'm thinking about Wendy right now. That was a long way to go for that explanation, but that's where my head goes. That's where my head is at. No, you have Google. Okay. Oh, fuck. Larry, I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight. Confess? Hey, don't tell me you suspect me too! Nonsense. I don't believe you have the mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder. However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. For past experience has taught me that you're always at the center of some ridiculous event. Edgy, how can you be so mean, stabbing me with your words like that? Unfortunately, I don't have the time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time. Nor do I have a Magatama that lets me break through your mental defenses. So I suggest that maybe that's what he's referring to. So I suggest that you cooperate and tell me what you know. Okay, I get it. Just stop Franzi from whipping me from behind. The front's okay. So I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy? I cannot even begin to imagine. However, I imagine that whatever you were up to was probably beyond my imagination. So you will tell me what exactly you did, Larry. Nope, not yet, Edgy. It'll take more than that to loosen my lips. Jesus Christ, this guy. A lot more. Confess now. Oh, okay. Well, I was up on the roof. And why were you up on the roof? Oh, you know, that wintry custom and the legendary hero. Legendary? Do you mean Santa Claus? Do you think that the Steel Samurai and Santa Claus are the same person? Larry Butts? With your foam rubber muscles? Hero. Santa Claus! Santa Claus. I wanted to do that thing he does, so I climbed up to one of the chimneys. But when I got there, there was smoke pouring out. And? Well, I couldn't go down the chimney with smoke coming up, right? So I gave up. Larry, you do realize that Santa Claus does not exist, right? Of course I know. I did graduate from junior high, you know. Then you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history. Oh, crud. It is your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as a prime suspect in this murder. That was not part of your junior high curriculum. Oh, fuck. Come on, man. What's so wrong with pretending to be Santa? Let's start with the fact that it will be the Ides of March in a matter of hours. Santa only visits homes on December 24th. That's in December! That's why they call it December 24th! Wait, don't the milk and cookies constitute an implicit invitation? I don't know. Maybe you should represent Santa in court. You know, in case he ever gets criminal charges drawn against him. No! Hey, wait a sec. We're not in court. All right. There are some weapons on display on this wall. A crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. And they each have different patterns. They all match the patterns on the blade cases. Interesting. These must be the counterparts to the Babyliss knives, which means that the blades inside these scabbards should match the blade that was used to kill Mr. Cochin. Why is there a weapon on display in a place like this? I wonder why there's no whips on display here. Knives adorned with flowers are on display here. I suspect these are the counterparts to the Babyliss knives. The blades should match the blade of the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. What? One of the knives is missing its blade. And it's the one with the vine motif. Don't say that, you'll end up defending Santa. This is the Phoenix verse, it's true. Let's see if the two pieces, the blade and the handle, fit each other. It would appear they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly. Then this means that an Alabastian knife did find its way into Babel. But how? It's the Steel Samurai's primary weapon, the Samurai Spear. Isn't it awesome? I totally fell for this thing. It's sleek and shiny, just like my heart. It comes at you like whoosh. When you hold it, you just want to live life like BAM! You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Although it is just as Larry says, the spear is quite the symbol of valor. However, speaking of spears, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting the point into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced this spear is up to the task. What's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off in the distance. I can't read your thoughts this time. Oh, I get it. Tell you what, I'll tell the studio to make you one, okay? But this one's mine. Did I say anything about wanting one? Maybe I can shut him up if I show him the piece of evidence that will point something out about this spear. Huh. Interesting. What is that plant supposed to? Oh my god, it's him. It looks just like the ambassador. Franziska, can you see that it's supposed to be a likeness of Ambassador Alba? Miles Edverse, as a subordinate, you have a lot of nerve telling me what to think. I look forward to your salary assessment next month. You are deluding yourself if you think you have any control over that. And right over here. I can spot absolutely no difference between this Primadou statue and Babel's. The statue's face looks a bit like that costumed hero you like so very much. Oh, the statue's face looks like a bit like that costumed hero you like so much. I only wonder why you Americans have such an affinity for this kind of face. Statue wasn't made by an American, you know. At least, I don't suppose so. Alright, time to go to the break. Hey, if you wanna listen to me for a sec, there's a civil rights movement happening around the country and the wider world. Black Americans, people of color, are fighting for things that shouldn't have to be fought for, like equal rights, equal treatment under the law, and to not be attacked, terrorized, and even murdered by the police. We have listed here some ways that you can help. Where's my other control panel? There it is. There we go. There is the Bail Fund Network to help keep protesters out of jail, the Okra Project and the Black Trans Travel Fund to help Black, trans, and non-binary people with food, supplies, and travel out of dangerous situations, and the Black Hills Legal Fund, which is the Lakota People's Fund to take back their land, the Six Grandfathers, which was stolen by white people, arbitrarily renamed to Mount Rushmore, and then had some white slave owners' faces carved into the side of it. Black Lives Matter, the lives of people of color matter. Indigenous lives and lands matter. Asian and Pacific Islander lives matter. And these are things we've got to keep saying and pushing and fighting for till the people all the way to the top not only understand and acknowledge them, but work to make them real protected truths. All right, we're going to go to the break. There's going to be some ads. I'm just going to let them autoplay because we're like 5 seconds away. Here comes the ad break. Woo! Here it goes. The ad break. Num, nummy num, those ads were so delicious, weren't they? Didn't you just enjoy the taste that they created when they landed directly on your tongue? Nom, don't we love ads so much? This is not sarcasm. She told the truth about. All right, we continue, we move. How's it go? Welcome back. So he's pointed out the spear as evidence specifically, so we got to find something to go along with that, or think of something to go along with that. The person shaking hands with the steel samurai in this picture is Ambassador Alba. It was taken just before the murder. The Steel Samurai must be very popular. They're even using the National Treasure as a backdrop. I just don't understand. What exactly is so great about the top knot there? Huh. Clearly, there is a depth to this show that a young person like you can't fathom. Speaking of young people, aren't young children the target audience of this show of costumed actors? Two things can be true. That's odd, isn't it? The statue was facing this way in the photo. Now it's facing this way. What's up with that? There was the exact same statue sitting in that Babyliss office we examined. It's the Primadou statue. It was the national treasure of the Principality of Codopia. It's the Primadou statue. It was the national treasure of the Principality of Codopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. But both Alabast and Babel claim to have the real thing. What an incredibly childish fight to have. It's like how adults line up outside of Target to buy Pokemon cards. It's purely for profit. Every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What the hell did I just choke on? There was one of these on the Babyliss side as well. I hear it's very valuable and made of pure gold. It was the national treasure of Codopia. There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. But both Alabast and Babel claim to have the real thing and won't budge on their claim. Incredible. Okay. They're almost the exact same wall mount for the knives on the Babyliss side. But I can't see any of the details from this distance. The counterpart to the Babyliss butterfly is the Alabastian flower. The butterfly and flower, they're both lovely things. But can we interpret this to mean that Alabas provides honey to Babel? Franziska, can you come up with a more meaningful or profound comment? Very well then, let's hear what sort of profound comment you have come up with. Well, flowers cannot survive without the butterflies that spread their pollen. And butterflies cannot live without the nectar the flowers provide. If either one were to disappear from the equation, neither would survive. How was that, Ms. Von Karma? Your explanation took so long that I nearly fell asleep. Well, let's continue the investigation. Francisco, why can't you just admit I had something there? They're so childish to each other, both of them. Oh my god. So what if the statue is facing the wrong way? Eureka! Look at this photo. Look at this photograph and tell me what you find odd about the scene, Ms. Von Karma. The apparent joy on the ambassador's face as he shakes that top-knot's hand. That's not it. I was trying to point out the statue in the photo is facing a different direction. You're right. This statue is a national treasure. As such, only an ambassador or a secretariat-level person is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now it's facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that someone touched this statue around the time of the murder. No statue touching, please. There's a map on the back of it. Clearly, we need to get Nicolas Cage in here. Alright, well that's one change. So this is the victim, Damask II. What is with his gaudy outfit? You don't know about Master Mask? A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc on the populace. So this thief is separate from the Yatagarasu? I thought they were for a while, because the MO and targets were different. Damask likes high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy is his signature. Gumshoe was in charge of that investigation, so he'd know more about Damask. That's alright, all I'd probably hear are tales of his failure anyway. Huh. You haven't changed a bit, I see. In any case, let's get started here, shall we? I won't rest, etc., etc. I thought that Damask had quit the business. This guy, he's just a copycat using the name, a phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is an out-of-work guy by the name of Kashino. He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. 29, that's basically dead in anime terms. From his clothes and what he was carrying, we determined that this guy is the real Damask II. The cause of death appears to be the loss of blood from the back of his head. It seems he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. There's not a single shred of fashion sense in Damask's costume. Well, at least I can appreciate the great effort he must have put into making it. You two don't know? You can buy this costume almost anywhere now. It's being sold. Since when? Since around New Year's. Hint, hint. The streets are practically flooded with them. Turns out Damask is a lot more popular than I thought he'd be. Can't believe that foolish fool would dress in fool's clothing that foolishly. I got your point about 3 foolishes back, Franziska. I do like that hearing Edgeworth's comments about Franziska and how different they are from Phoenix's. So this is the murder weapon in this case. There's blood on the blade. It's a rather sweeping sword, isn't it? What did you expect? It's Steel Samurai Daddy's secondary weapon. I only call it his secondary because although he uses his sword in most battles, it's his trusty samurai spear that he turns to in a real fight. You sure know quite a bit about the Steel Samurai. That's only because I saw the stage show earlier. I definitely didn't know anything before that, despite having a limited edition Steel Samurai figure sitting on the shelf in my office! The owner of this sword is the Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental as it is to proving him innocent. I suppose this was the wrapping cloth Damask II used to carry his stolen goods. It's oddly familiar. But there's nothing wrapped in it now. I guess he never did manage to get his hands on whatever it is he was out to steal. And everything. Looks like that's everything. We gotta look at the stuff we've got in inventory, I think. This one's also facing south. Interesting. Look at the tip of the spear. Why is it different? Is it just that Larry can't draw? Or is there something more to that? I feel like that's important though. Let's make sure that we're right on the blade. Eureka! Larry, about this spear. Oh, are you feeling it? Bam! I'm really feeling it. You're really feeling it! I thought there was something strange about this spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me, or is the spear a bit bent? What? No way! It's exactly as it should be, yo! I have here the autograph you wrote for me earlier. Now take a good look at this which you drew with your own hands. You can see that the spear is clearly of a different shape. Oh! What do you have to say about that? I'm sorry. When I hold the spear in my hands, all of a sudden I feel super powerful. And then during practice, I was spinning it around and around and around. And bam! It hit the wall! You unbelievable. This is an embassy. But I've always been like that, ever since I was a kid. Yes, we know. Larry would never admit his spear is bent. One time on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night. I'm just a useless, hot-blooded man. Usually when I hear hot-blooded, it's in reference to Kunio-kun. Also, it's usually in Japanese, which I don't currently remember what the Japanese term for hot-blooded is, but it gets used a lot in Kunio-kun. Larry, clarify that for me, will you? Oh, okay. So I was on some field trip and I started to shadow fight with my... Not that! I meant what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall. Oh, that! Oh, it's no biggie. It's not like I left a hole or anything. That's not why I'm asking, Larry. The samurai spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it would cause it to bend. Man, Edgy, you're so naive. What? Where did that come from? Well, you keep calling it the samurai spear, but it's not real. You can't really fight someone with it, because it's hollow on the inside. You could hit it against practically anything and it'd bend. Is that so? Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, don't take it the wrong way. I just think that part of your personality is cute. I see. Your friendship is truly something special, Miles Edgeworth. I'm homophobic. That's not friendship, it's utter humiliation. Alright, now we have a hollow bent spear. Great. Did I miss something here? The note in his hand. There we go. What is he holding? It looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. Alabaster Primadou statue, 5th floor ambassador's office, little map. It would appear that directions on how to reach this room were written by hand. There's something written on the back as well. I'd like you to steal the Primadou statue in this room. What is that supposed to mean? Who writes a note to themselves like that? If I had to guess from the text, that means he's also receiving orders like the original Master Mask? That's interesting. That changes things. If I had to guess from the text, I'd say that this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. Just who is the person that requested the theft of the Primadou statue? I assume one of the ambassadors, right? Can we get him to take his... Can we take the mask off? Or is that like against protocol? Is it like Batman? Where the EMTs refuse to remove his mask? It's a fireplace, and by the look of it, I don't think it's been used recently. Yes, I can't say I see anything unusual about it. This must be Ambassador Alba's desk. His notebook is open on the desk. He must have been in the middle of some important work. Sapling growth log. It finally sprouted today. Funny, it doesn't look like important work to me. Ooh, new picture. 2 gorgeous flowers are in full bloom here. I'm sure flowers as lovely as these must have an equally as lovely name. Here comes the irony. Miles Edgeworth, are you done staring? I should hardly think passion flowers are all that rare. Passion flowers? That's a rather unusual name. It was named by priests in the 15th century for the Passion of Christ. Oh no, not a passion play. For those not familiar with passion plays, they're mostly flagellation porn and deeply anti-Semitic. As they say, you learn something new every day. Oh, I guess that was it. I guess that about wraps up my investigation. That's... Hey, there she is. Mindy Old Bag. Yo, Pink Princess! How you feeling? Still feeling ill? Yep, that's Wendy. And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork. And so the Pink Princess also comes to pay the Alabastian Embassy a visit. I believe I may need to speak with her as well. Ms. Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. Y'all know what kind of coffee that is. Miss Pink Princess, if you would... Boom! Me? We called that.
Heck, this must be what they call fate.
How could this happen 2 days in a row? What the? Aren't you Miss Oldbag? Why are you surprised?
Oh, so you're the one that got to play the Seal Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realize that until now.
Your acquaintances with Larry?
Oh, why yes, we worked at the same company for a little while, you know. That's why it's okay, my edgy poo. You don't need to be jealous.
Ugh.
I was in the next room, you know, trying to get in some beauty sleep. But it was so noisy here that I couldn't fall asleep, so I came over to complain. So imagine my shock when I saw my precious edgy poo waiting for me. I mean, who could have imagined that you would ever come to a show like this?
We never did meet... Oh god, what was her name? Oh, why am I so bad at names? But she was in the lobby, the photographer. We still haven't actually gotten to interact with her because she disappeared between cuts.
I guess I misjudged you, edgy poo.
You misjudged him?
I thought he was trying to avoid me, you know.
A lot of heart, thank you. That was no misjudgment on your part. That's precisely what I was trying to do.
But it looks like the winds have shifted now, and he's now willing to be chased after. I'm simply overwhelmed. Don't you worry, edgy poo. I'll chase you forever to the ends of the earth.
Isn't that just peachy? This is one of those rare times when Franziska and I actually see eye to eye. And she's got a fucking... Is that a rapier? A foil? I don't know the difference. I know they're different swords, though. Now then, what are you doing here? I thought you were working at Gatewaterland as the Pink Badger.
What are you talking about? That was ages ago.
That was yesterday!
Look, I worked at Global Studios before, a long time ago, right? Well, they called me up this morning, kinda out of the blue, actually.
They called you?
Apparently, the girl who plays the Pink Princess collapsed from a bad cold. It happened so suddenly.
It was COVID. Oh no. They're having a COVID episode. That's obviously not true. This happened this game came out in 2009 originally.
It happened so suddenly, they called me in to be her last-minute replacement.
Do they not have enough people on staff at the studio?
I really couldn't say no. So here I am, playing the role of the heroine. Instead of that Mindy girl, I mean. But that poor girl, I feel bad for her. Because they let me stand in for her. She's gonna have a terrible time when she returns. I mean, I'm not to be standing the very last second. I threw that ragdoll instead of the sure audience uproar. I tell you, really just a bunch of simpletons. You're a rather lively old lady.
So basically, you received the stand-in request this morning, correct?
You got it. If you need to see it, I got it right here.
It appears that she is telling the truth.
I tell you, my fine acting moved the entire audience to tears.
Yes, tears of laughter, as I recall.
But being famous has its problems too, you know. Here, take a look at this. It's a letter from a stalker. I was just taking my break when I found this stuck under the door in my room. I'll be descending on you from above to... Oh my god, it's from Larry. Honestly, you really have to watch out for these kinds of things. Look what it says. Wendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving night.
It says Mindy, doesn't it? Oh, we don't have it here yet.
Oh, absolutely revolting. I mean, you'd think you could get my name right. There's no accent in my name.
Wait, this horrible handwriting. Where have I seen this before?
But now that you're here, Edgy Poo, I feel 100% safe.
Where do I factor into this?
You'd bust that evil stalker man for my sake, wouldn't you, Edgy Poo?
Well, if you allow me the liberty to handle this in my own way, I'll gladly dispatch a detective to your house later.
Oh, come on, Edgy Poo. Stop being so dismissive and playing hard to get.
Yeah, that says Mindy. It's just really bad handwriting. Yeah, that's an M and an I. That's not an accent. It's a dot that goes over the I. This must have been changed significantly for the localization. And it actually looks more natural than most of the stuff that they paint over for the American version. What were you doing at the time of the crime?
What crime?
What?
After the show was over, I had nothing but free time on my hands. So I used the fireplace in the next door to keep my bad hip warm.
So the fireplace has been used.
Well, a murder occurred in the room right next to yours. Is that right? Oh, Edgy Poo, I'm so scared. Hold me, caress me.
Hold it!
It's funny because the writers have a tenuous attitude toward consent, regardless of the characters' genders. If you could please not cling on to my personage.
In any case, I take it then that you failed to show up at Ambassador Alba's speech. Oh, that? No, I didn't go. I mean, I may have the heart of a young tender maiden, but my body just refuses to cooperate at times. As soon as the...
Just like me. Except for the sexual harassment.
As soon as the show ended, my hips started acting up and got stiff. I couldn't move at all.
Can you provide proof of your condition?
Oh, you just go on ahead and ask the doctors in the infirmary. They're the ones who carried me from the theater all the way to the embassy.
I have to admit, the thought of her not being able to leave the room is rather pleasant. Prosecutor Von Karma! I've brought the police dog as you requested, sir. It's adorable. I don't think they usually use sheep as police dogs in Los Angeles, right?
Good work. You may leave now, officer.
Bork. This dog.
I requested the assistance of a dog in our search for the Yatagata, sir.
Looks like you guys have some pretty bright dogs in this country, too. Hey, you're a real cutie, aren't you?
Yeah, there's a good boy.
That's the police dog Gumshoe's been taken care of. I think its name is Missile? The Missile is Eepy.
What a fitting name for a police dog that dashes out in front and attacks.
That action alone isn't exactly what's going to solve the case for us, you know.
Now, Missile, I want you to find some clues. Go. I have no idea how dogs work.
Wow, that was quick. I take it back. Franziska knows exactly how dogs work.
Good dog. You really are quite bright, aren't you? Unlike a certain someone I know. I could be referring to anyone in this room. But probably Gumshoe. Now, what do we have here? What is this? It looks like a small hot dog, but...
Wait, Franziska, isn't that an official samurai dog? Dang. Oh, it hadn't occurred to me that she'd probably have black gums like chows do. Kinda cool. Been a long time since I met a sheep in person.
Ah, no, bad missile. He ate it. I wonder if it's alright for him to eat that.
It's just a meat substance snack featuring the Steel Samurai. I'm sure he'll be fine. Hopefully there was no onions on it.
That's quite a bit of information you gathered there in a single quick glance.
We should really be focusing on why there was a samurai dog in the first place. Come on, we all know Larry accidentally dropped it down.
It looks like that snack wasn't all Missile found. Yeah, it looked like he'd brought over a scarf or a head wrap or something.
Oh, it's a shirt. And what do we have here?
It appears to be a lady's undershirt. I wonder if Ambassador Alba might have an interest in cross-dressing.
Why is that the first place your head went, Franziska? She's into very old femboys. I think that's the only explanation. I somehow doubt that. He doesn't look like the shirt would even fit him. Samurai dog and a lady's undershirt. What are these two items doing in a room like this, especially together? Given the circumstances, the lady's undershirt could only belong to one person. I suppose I should get this over with and ask the owner of said undershirt about it. There's only one person here who would own such a shirt. Yeah, Larry Butts. Is that gonna be the joke? Because that'd be pretty good if it was Larry's. Or rather, Larry stole it from someone, because we all know that's exactly what would happen. Alright. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck. Fuck you, Capcom. God. Why would you do that to me? What? Fuck. God. God damn it. Her dialogue is finished. Larry's is not. I was making a joke, and it turns out they were on the same page. So good job, Capcom. Oh, maybe it's just because the murder weapon. I can try showing him the undershirt, though. Larry, I wonder if you might know what this is. No, not a clue. You didn't even look at it. Okay, so that's a wrong... Okay. Okay, Capcom was not in the same headspace as me. Because that's the only thing I can see right now in front of my lovely Franzi.
Oh, in that case, allow me to help you sear my form into you for all eternity.
Eek! Oh, whippity whip trip! Now this is a trip I'm willing to endorse, especially if we can finally get some peace here. Alright. So it was okay. I feel less terrible now. Alright. I guess we'll present it to Wendy. If you could please take a look at this brown-colored undershirt. Is that brown-colored? It kind of looks like salmon pink.
Oh, Edgy Poo, what is the meaning of this? Why'd you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask. I would have gladly given you as many as you'd like.
Thanks, but no thanks. This shirt was found here at the crime scene.
What?
Come now, why don't you just confess and explain what it's doing here?
I know nothing. Nothing, I tell you.
What?
Oh, I admit I used the fireplace to dry that shirt, but I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know. Wearing that pink princess costume was like being in a sauna. And on top of that, I get fingered as a suspect. You're too cruel, Edgy Poo.
Are you claiming that you never once set foot inside this room?
Of course I am. If I'd been the one to find the body, do you think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am? I tell you, it's always like this. It's a tabloid article missing. They're missing. Speaking of missing, there's the man who got married. He said, I guess proposes that. Deserve you, but I can't help it. Will you marry me? Honestly, men these days.
Well, I don't believe she's lying about her actions, so I can safely assume she really was drying her shirt by the fireplace on her break. And somehow the undershirt managed to move from the next room into this one. I assume the samurai dog was also yours.
Oh, that brilliant mind of yours. You really can see through everything about me.
And so the feeling of dread continues, but I suppose I should ask for more details. That samurai dog was yours, wasn't it?
Oh, of course. I'm forever yours, my edgy wedgy poo.
If you could just stick to what I asked you! Edgy, are you and Ms. Oldbag? No!
You really don't change, do ya? When will you learn how to take a joke?
Oh god, I hate her so much.
Anyway, that samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are a present from the studio to the embassy. A present. The studio bigwigs told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them all into the pushcart to move them all. Those studio guys should have delivered those things by themselves, right, Edgy? So did you deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy staff as per your instructions? Hey, Edgy, don't just ignore me and my question. Aren't you gonna stick up for me? Oh, about that. See, after the show, I went to rest a spell in the dressing room because of my bad hip, you know. And there they were, the samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor. I suppose you had to make preparations for distributing them after the show. Well, if by preparation you mean sampling them as well, you're right, Bad Road, and she took the point as well. Well, if by preparation you mean sampling them. Excuse me? Oh, I tried one and thought they were actually pretty good. Sorry, I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think, but I figured that since they're for a kids show, the taste is probably for kids too. But they were so good that I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to half dozen or so boxes. As I sat there by the roaring fire, warming them and eating them, I thought, this is... She's making me hungry. Y'all, I want a samurai dog now, and they're not even a real thing. I want fictional junk food. But can she see what kids love about Cinnamon Toast Crunch? I'm trying to come up with something for Old Bag to say, and all I can think of is, they hate the cops? Thank you, Bad Road. Ha, what is it now? Oh, I know. I bet you want a box too, don't you, Edgy Poo? Well, who am I to say no to you? But I'll only give you one, the rest are for me. It looks like the lesson for today is that when the Seal Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their masks, they transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers. Would not recommend Encyclopedia Brownies. Oh, fuck. I haven't read Encyclopedia Brown since I was the intended age range for Encyclopedia Brown. I heard they tried to do a reboot at some point. Curious about that. One of the books had recipes in the back. Oh, I remember that! And we defictionalized some of them. Damn, I remember that.
I definitely had that book from the library. Larry, about the samurai sword that was used as the murder weapon. Oh, that. Well, I shook hands with the ambassador in this room, you know. Yes, apparently you did. And, well, I totally forgot about it and left it behind when I left afterwards. You want to talk about shock? I was the most shocked of all when I heard it killed someone. Shocked! Foolish fool, looking especially foolish for foolishly stating such a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something that big with you? Who would believe such a tale? Sorry, Ms. Von Karma, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry. Etchy, you believe me? I just knew our friendship was something special. Anyway, even if Larry simply forgot the sword and left it behind, that in no way clears his name. Which means that I will have to prove his innocent from a different angle. Encyclopedia Brown was one of my favorites as a kid. Hell yeah. Also had a lot of the Three Investigators. I haven't heard of the Three Investigators. We did a lot of Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys both. Some Tom Swift too. I remember Tom Swift being pretty fun, but that was more Bio Brothers thing. Alright, so what's next? It's getting hard to navigate this room. Don't have anything new to say. No matter how hard you try, you'll never be a necessity in our Shifu's investigation. Is that a fact? But no matter how good he is, he's bound to overlook something. If you insult our Shifu, then prepare to be punished! Oh, and how exactly would you punish us? Every investigator under Shifu's command will work to disrupt your investigation! Vindictive much? You did some investigating over in the Babalese embassy too, right? I did. Is there a problem? Langji says, a wolf who aims to hunt for 2 rabbits at once. I believe the idiom you require is he who runs after 2 hares will catch neither. Huh, a real wolf can catch both. What is wrong with you? I see. So what are you trying to say, seeing as how I am currently handling 2 cases? Ha! Suit yourself. But don't say I didn't warn you. So wait. I just realized. I was mentioning that obviously the fireplace was being used. That's why there was smoke coming up the chimney. There's no smoke. This chip one wasn't used, but it's how the shirt and the sandwich, they have a shared chimney. They have the same chimney. Both fireplaces have to connect to the same place. Got a lot of Tom Swift, few Nancy Drew, couple Hardy Boys. I really liked Hardy Boys Case Files. That was the it wasn't a reboot technically, even though it did change the tone a lot. It was a direct sequel to the original series. I remember it very well because Iola is, I think is her name, Chet's sister, is killed off in the very first book and basically just replaced with Vanessa as Joe's love interest. It was a weird flex. Now that I'm looking back at it as an adult, they literally decided that murder and dead girlfriend was how to appeal to preteens and young adults in the 90s. Books are weird, especially ones written by author conglomerates. I've only just arrived in this room myself, which is why we need to investigate some more. Yes, I agree. Our priority should be in understanding the current situation. Of course. I was planning to do that from the very beginning. In fact, I've been doing it. I'm just reading the dialogue out of order.
In that case, hurry up and start the investigation already.
I will. So let's get started. In order to find out the truth behind what happened here, I should start by gathering as much information as I can, and continue by gathering as much information as I can, and finish by you get it. You get it. That's my joke. The main thing I remember about the last Hardy Boys book I read is how they took stairs there 3 at a time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a recurring symbol in the book, huh? Taking stairs 3 at a time. We borrowed this dog from the local precinct, but is he really capable of handling this case? I thought police dogs are usually of a much larger breed. Animorphs was our main thing. Animorphs kicked ass, and also K.A. Applegate, who wrote them, big fucking ally. Both her and her husband, big fucking allies. So, you know, if you want young adult fantasy, and you've broken off from the Harry Potter shit, go read Animorphs. Animorphs kicks ass, and it's aimed at the same, like, demographic. He may be small, but he is an excellent police dog. Furthermore, he was raised by Detective Gumshoe. You had me thinking the dog was capable until you said that he was raised by Scruffy. Yes, well, I suppose that wasn't the best of arguments to use. The missile is Eepy. Ah, that's just in there now. Alright, it's gotta be like... Yes. Oh, I can talk to her from anywhere. I forgot about that. Smoke from the chimney. Use the fireplace. Undershirt from next door. Right? There we go. There's no trace of this room's fireplace being used. And your point is? Smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connected to this fireplace. At least according to Larry. This is a contradiction of facts, is it not? Are you sure he wasn't just disoriented or something up on that roof? There is testimony from an investigator that puts Larry at this particular chimney. So no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part, though that is a good thing to ask. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went? Oh, I see. So what you're proposing is this. The smoke that came out of the chimney was actually from Ms. Oldbag's fire. So basically, the fireplaces of neighboring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you're implying? Precisely. And that brings us down to just one object, which answers all our questions. The lady's undershirt that Missile found. Ugh! Why are you getting all excited over holding onto a lady's undergarment? What the fuck, Franziska? Do you have a crush on your stepbrother? Are you jealous? Are you jealous that your stepbrother is handling Wendy Oldbag's shirt? Does she have a crush on Edgeworth or Oldbag? Because I see this being problematic either way. Stepbrother teehee. Oh my god, I hate that. Miles Edgeworth, you uncouth sea slug. If you know the owner of said undershirt, then hurry up and return it to her already. You have it wrong. This is evidence. And the owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet, despite that, Missile found it in the fireplace of this room. This lady's undershirt... Are you seriously claiming that it somehow passed through a solid brick wall? Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace in the underroom, in the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other.
Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order.
There's an X on the back of the fireplace. Let's see if I can't get a better look at it.
What in the...
The wall separating this room's fireplace from the next room's fireplace apparently turns. As I suspected, this fireplace does indeed connect this room to the neighboring room.
The neighboring room?
There appears to be nothing particular about the next room, but the fact that there's nothing special about the next room isn't what's important. Next room, next room. I think she's looking for something to taunt him about. I would agree, if not for the anger that she was showing while she said it. But I hope you're right. It's the fact that there's a secret passageway through this room's fireplace, and it would be very easy for the shirt and the sandwich to pass through it. What with how widely it spins, especially.
We now know that the fireplace connects the two rooms, but how exactly is that significant? You aren't going to suddenly name the old lady as Damas 2's killer, are you?
No, she couldn't move at all because of her stiff hip, so she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe that this fireplace has nothing whatsoever to do with Damas 2's murder. That's a good place to end up on investigation complete, right? It would appear that the answer has made itself known.
You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on! I'm ready to counter any argument you may have. A counter-argument, as it were.
Very well. If you are prepared, I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me.
Good, I'm counting on you, Edgy.
Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is.
My lie?
I know that there's still something you're keeping from the rest of us.
What's wrong with you? Why is it you won't believe me no matter what I say, Edgy?
I mean, often I see people, you know, who are disbelieved at a glance, but none quite so righteously as Larry Butts. He manages to lie in every single thing he says. Because you never say anything true, yeah? Oh my god. Curse you! I should just hurry up and die already if that's how it's gonna be. Dramatic much? I'll confess to every murder in the whole world and then kill myself. Jesus Christ. Throw everything into mass confusion. What is wrong with I don't need to ask, do I?
You made some wonderful friends as a child, I see.
Larry, I only have one thing to say to you. Even if you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who's ready to die is strong-willed, you know. Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you've caused. I only ask that you don't lie to me. If you cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie, I will never forgive you. The music goes silent. Edgy? Although allow me to say that I consider you to be among the innocent in this case, and that I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this. All right, this time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What happened, what didn't happen, the works. Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify as to what you did on the roof tonight. And that's time for our next break. Up on the rooftop, click, click, click. Something, something. Larry Butts. All right, let's go to our second break. How y'all holding up? You having a good time? I'm having fun. I'm having fun. I love reading stories to y'all. Thanks for being a great audience. Thanks for being great friends, those of you who are my personal friends, and fans for those who are not. Thank you. You rock. Anyway, if you want to support us, you can subscribe here on Twitch. That gets you access to our cool emotes, which we're slowly adding more of as we go. Right now, you can get a damn fine cup of coffee. That's pretty cool. Or you can head on over to patreon.com/ifwhen, which will get you access to art, music, shout-outs at the end of the streams. If you like the music that plays at the starts of our streams, well, JJ, and to a lesser extent, but no less important extent, Alice, write that music. So check that shit out. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes. After eating these delicious, delicious ads. They're so good. They're so you have no idea. Just... All right, I got myself a snack. It's a basic garden salad. Habanero jack cheese and some honey mustard. It's delicious. It is delicious, I tell you. The honey mustard is a bit sweeter than I usually like, but it's still good. That is some tasty leaves. Been thinking of starting a horde. You know, like Dragon's got. I don't know what I'd hoard, though. Never been much into collecting. Sorry, still eating salad. All right. I'll keep playing, but I'm going to have to pause for salad. There we go. After the show, I left the pushcart in the rose garden and I came into the embassy. Then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so, you know, I wandered around. That's when I spotted the chimney. A chimney like that is a rare thing, you know. So then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try. What? Horde collectors. That sounds complicated. And probably illegal. Larry, I thought I just finished telling you not to lie anymore. But it's kinda ultra embarrassing. And what exactly is so ultra embarrassing that you can't tell me? Edgy, man, I just said it was embarrassing, so of course I can't just blurt it out. Gonna have to reason it out of me! As your superior, I command you to hurry up and expose this man's lie. I have every intention to, for I'm not about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter. Up on the rooftop. After the show, I left the pushcart in the rose garden and came into the embassy. Hold it! You left the pushcart. Could you please clarify that statement for me? Yeah, so the wheels on the pushcart got covered in dirt from the rose garden. It would have made a mess of the floor inside, so Ambassador Alba said to just leave it. Well, it would be rather impolite to dirty another country's embassy. Rebuttal. Oh no. Come to think of it, I recall seeing the Pink Princess on my way into the embassy. And what was she doing? Nothing in particular, because she was being carried by some doctors on a stretcher. All right, that matches up with what we know. She must have been incapacitated by the pain of her bad hip and that she suffered during the show. So I came into the embassy, right? And then they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador.
Hold it!
Wheels on the cart don't go round and round. Oh no! We've been lied to all this time. How terrible. So you shook hands with the ambassador of the Kingdom of Alabes, did you? Yeah, can you believe it? I did something really cool for a change. You were in the presence of someone who you think of as really cool. That's basically the same. But honestly speaking, there's nothing interesting about shaking some guy's hand. Hey there, are you disrespecting another country in their very own embassy?
As someone with roots in this country, I'm feeling nothing but incredible shame at this second.
Agreed. I apologize for his inconsiderate words. Now, Larry, please continue. What is with all of you? You keep saying that kind of thing, and I'll tell you only lies. You're already telling us nothing but lies, so let it go and move on.
All right, already. You don't need to glare at me like that, Edgy.
After that, and until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around.
Hold it!
Larry, I want you to listen very carefully and take this to heart. The whole point of your life is to cause misery and pain to everyone you encounter. I know, I get it, I'm totally the bad guy again.
Hold it! I thought you were his friend. Don't you think that was a bit harsh? Langxi says true friends are bosom friends. If you're in trouble, call on your bosom friend, whose shoulder you can truly cry on. And their bosom.
Hey, bosom buddy, I hope you're listening careful to my testimony. Has it crossed your pea-sized brain yet that Agent Lang is only out to arrest you, Larry?
Now then, you were wandering around inside the embassy, and then what happened?
That's when I spotted the chimney. A chimney like that's a rare thing, you know. I should hardly think that chimneys are that rare.
Agreed, especially since they're a traditional feature of American houses. Plus, many grand buildings have even larger and fancier chimneys.
Yeah, but the kind of chimney I'm talking about is the really romantic type. A romantic chimney. It might sound kind of silly, but women seem to really enjoy them. And I just had a good feeling about that chimney. What the fuck is Larry talking about? I'm more confused than usual by this man. Holy shit. But then I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try.
Hold
it! You suddenly wanted to play Santa. Oh, well, actually, I dressed up as Santa once before already. I was down at Gourd Lake. Ugh! I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me. Dang.
Sounds like you guys share a lot of history. A perk to being childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not a felony to dress up and play Santa, you know. Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down a family's chimney, after all.
Actually, is it worth delving into whether or not playing Santa is a big deal? I mean, yeah. It is a big deal right now. Actually, I believe in the case of this man, playing Santa is actually quite a big deal.
Are you saying your buddy isn't exactly made of Santa-quality stuff?
Precisely. You hit the nail on the head, Agent Lang. Hey, Edgy, that's so incredibly mean. Tell me something, Larry. Did you know that Santa's job is to deliver presents to people all over the world? Of course I know that. I did graduate from junior high, you know. In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. Tell me something. I want you to tell me to whom you were delivering a present to. I was delivering a present to a child not basking in the warm glow of love?
Objection!
That must be the most elegant description of you I've ever heard, but a lie is still a lie. You sure know how to kick a guy when he's down, you know that. In any case, the person you wish to deliver a present unto was most certainly this. Alright, well, the Pink Princess isn't on here specifically. Wait, that's Mask to Mask 2, apparently. Real name, Kashi no. Okay. Anyway. Old bag, I guess.
Take that!
Interesting taste you have there, Mr. Suspect.
Don't spread lies about me! I totally didn't want to see Ms. Oldbag so much that I'd try to go down a chimney. Ow!
I advise you to stop right there in your bashing of a lady.
I must admit that I myself hardly ever have the want to run into that lady. However, what if you were misinformed and under the wrong impression? Then what? Define wrong impression. I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact. And that fact is best summed up with this. It's not the note, it's the... There we go.
Take that!
This is something the old lady received from her employer for the night. The girl who normally plays the Pink Princess, Mindy, was it again. It seems that this man is quite taken with that actress. Hold it, but that's not true, Edgy! She's the one with the hots for me. I just know it. I can feel her sexy beam piercing my heart when she's... Can we please kill this man? Don't give him a hero's ending either. Just let him be crushed by a piano. He is possibly the worst. Probably even the worst. Definitely the worst. C-Beam, I tell you.
You filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle, idiot, cowardly apparition of a man. I haven't matured at all since we last met. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor.
Yes.
This guy, he's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it.
I suppose you could put it that way. What the heck, man? I don't get you guys at all. Why do you all have to make me out to be some sort of bad guy? To return to the original topic, I propose that at least this much has been made clear. Without any knowledge that Ms. Mindy had fallen ill, Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room. That much we know for sure. Yeah, gee, it looks like I got the hang of this court thing now. But we're not in court at the moment. Shut up! I see what's going on here. And it looks just like you do in court.
I guess old boy here still has something he'd like to say. Lang Shi says, until the root of the tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth.
The fuck?
You shouldn't form conclusions until everything is out in the open, which is why I listen.
Alright, then get ready to listen to me defeat Edgy in a battle of wits. Sorry, have you forgotten that should I lose, your victory prize will be your arrest? Larry's assertion. So you think all I wanted to do was to go visit Mindy? Well, I dressed up as Santa and climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. It was a case of mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late for the speech. Then, to top it all off, I became a suspect in a murder. Now that's what you really meant. But why would I ever put myself through so much humiliation on purpose? Sorry, this is a salad pause today. Salad pauses are quite a bit longer than coffee pauses, as you can see. Or hear me say. Hopefully my chewing isn't coming through the mic too much. All right. All right, done now. Oh, good. I'm glad it didn't come through the mic. Okay, this one will be a coffee pause. Hey, someone say something! Larry, are you seriously trying to submit this, not as a confession, but as testimony? So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is a claim claiming my claim. Do you have a problem with that?
So it was you. You're my stalker. But I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm the devoted type of woman whose whole long as Edgy Poo is alive, I can't just drop. Earlier, I was tempted just to love my dear Edgy Poo. It's completely true to my. I'm so inspired! You're such an inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, and all-around completely worthless man. I thought I heard something ominous just now, but perhaps it was just my imagination. I believe there's nothing further for me to prove at this point. What do you mean? Of course you've still got something to prove. You still have to show some proof I was trying to meet up with Mindy. Proof, you say? Remember, Edgy, everything's evidence in court, right? I mean, evidence is everything in court, Larry, but I get your point. Yeah, see? I'm totally a pro at this now. Very well, if you wish to see the evidence, then let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see. I already know what to do here. We'll still press a few times. So you think all I wanted to do was go visit Mindy?
Hold it!
Well, I have been saying that for a while now. After all, if not for that, then for what other reason did you wish to go down the chimney? You can't say that without any evidence. That's against the rules, Edgy. Thanks for keeping the prosecutor in line for me, Mr. Suspect.
Hold it!
I have the evidence, and if you wish to see it that badly, I can introduce you to. Ah, but it's not good to keep them waiting, my subordinate. Hurry and show them already. Lies, all lies, Edgy! Well, if you wish to lie, then by all means, continue. Because I'm ready to expose your lie at the moment's notice. You won't get the better of me. Andros won't have his way with me. Now let's see. Well, I dressed up as Santa and climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was real thick.
Hold it!
Was the smoke coming from the chimney really that thick? You bet. It was so thick I had tears pouring out of my eyes. It was a mess. Did he stick his head into the smoke? I see. You do realize that you just confirmed for us your chimney escapade. What? That's totally unfair! You tricked me, Edgy! Hardly. You simply have yet to master how to counter this cross-examination technique.
Well, what I just said was a slip. I said the wrong thing.
Besides, isn't this what you really meant to say about what I did tonight? It was a case of mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late for the speech. Then, to top it all off, I became a suspect in a murder. That's what you really meant. But why would I ever put myself through so much humiliation on purpose? This whole testimony is one giant confession of all that he's done tonight. He's practically begging me to show him why he bothered to put himself through all this. So you think that all I wanted to do was go visit Mindy? So now we're gonna... Yes, I do think you would do this on purpose. And we actually have proof that you did this on purpose. Isn't that fucking wild?
Objection!
Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter.
Hey, why are you showing that thing to me? Vendy, I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving knight. Well, isn't that just romantic?
But you weren't able to descend on it from above, were you, Mr. Loving Knight? Ugh! I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing.
Objection!
It's amazing how this man could get completely out of trouble every time we see him just by not denying that he did something shitty. It would immediately prove him innocent. Every time. You can pretend to be ignorant all you'd like, but it's written right here. This letter proves that you are not out to meet the old lady, but rather that you are attempting to pay Ms. Mindy a visit. A part of this letter shows that the person Larry had intent...
Take that!
Larry, I suggest you take up penmanship lessons. That is, if you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment ever again. Larry Butts admits his mistakes. Difficulty impossible. Larry Butts admit your mistakes challenge 2024. Difficulty impossible. What the heck? What are you talking about? Speak English or Japanese or whatever it is we speak. You wrote Mindy so sloppily that it became a Wendy to the average eye. Hey, stop picking on me. It's so embarrassing. There. Isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? For punching. That'll have to wait until we're off at this crime scene. She saved me from the scary man. I think I just tripled down on Larry's when I said that. That was so Larry. If I can't keep that up. That would actually destroy my sinuses. That's how nasal I had to get there. Sure, if you're willing to make amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake. That wasn't me. Come again. It's a fake. Someone's out to get me, so they made that fake letter to set me up. Accept your defeat graciously. But you guys are being so mean.
Hold it!
Penmanship analysis. What's that? That's where we analyze the penmanship. Of course, that's not actually admissible in court, generally speaking, because it's not a real science. No matter who, all people have certain unique features to their handwriting, and we're going to pretend that's true for the duration of this video game. Ergo, all we have to do is compare the handwriting in this letter to a sample of yours. And we'll know soon enough who it was that sent the letter.
I'll never write another thing in my life.
Hold it!
Tisk, tisk, tisk. It's no use, Mr. Loving Knight. For you've already graciously provided me with a sample of your handwriting.
Take that!
This autograph and our mysterious letter. If we compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to our question soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure.
I'm sorry.
Why is that peaking the mic? I'm so sorry, everyone. I have no idea why that... I guess because it's so far from my normal voice. So the compressor doesn't know what the fuck to do. Oh, shit. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail right on the head, Edgy. So he finally confesses. I saw the pink princess being carried around in a stretcher and I got worried, alright? I wanted to go into Mindy's room, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Edgy. Your mind jumped from the door to the chimney. What a criminally overactive imagination. Well, at least I was honest and wrote Mindy a letter and stuck it under the door. That way she wouldn't be so shocked when I came through the chimney. Except for the fact that the letter was an utter failure at conveying said sentiment. I'm really, really sorry. Larry, you may be a shameful good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. You may be disgusting and horrible and misogynistic and generally abhorrent. You might be an unhygienic, irritating little flea of a man. That's enough, please. That's enough. Oh, sorry. I got carried away. Jerk. However, I always knew you weren't the killer. What was my point? I told you to trust me, because at the very least, I can attest to that about you. Edgy, you're... We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you. Ow! In any case, I believe we can say that we now know exactly what happened. Mr. Larry Butt sought to climb down the chimney, not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of the elderly lady next door. Which sounds worse. How come he only has voice lines sometimes? It's like twice they've given him a voice line when he interrupts. Great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two of you are friends. You know what? Fair enough. But the suspicion on that guy over there isn't completely resolved yet, so don't get any funny ideas about running off. He's gone from Sonic the Hedgehog to Gary fucking Oak. Oh, hey, what? Edgy, what does the Wolfman mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet? He means the murder weapon. Larry, did you forget? There are 2 layers of suspicion hanging over your head. That's exactly what I mean. Can't rely on the words of the suspect, after all. We may have figured out where he was and what he was doing all night, but the blood-stained samurai sword that was left at the crime scene, as long as there's no satisfactory explanation for that, this wolf will refuse to ease up on his bite. Eek.
Edgy, that guy, he looks like he's seriously about to take a bite out of me.
Have I gone too far with Larry? Have I gone past the point of no return? Has my Larry voice gotten so horrible that there's nowhere else to go? I don't know how I'm gonna add to this or even keep up this level of Larry. Oh, this always happens with this guy. I'm well aware, and you should be as well, that this upcoming battle will be crucial.
Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bumbler, our buvly lumbler, our lumbly buvler, I've been dealt a very nice hand and a sweet trump card. Looks like we're about to enter the final bout.
No, yes, and I'm not sure.
Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you got.
I can easily point out the contradiction in the supposed murder weapon. But the real problem for me is figuring out what the real murder weapon is. Yeah, right? Like, the sword has blood on the blade, but Damask died to blunt trauma from the back of the head. Which I suppose you could do with a display sword. It would be pretty tough, though. I think before you did enough damage to kill someone by blood loss, you'd end up cracking their skull. This will be a high-stakes gamble, but this is one game I can't afford to lose. Why Larry?
I was the one who found the body of the victim, Damask II. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood.
Hi, Gaston. You okay over there? You're being nervous.
It was supposed to be in the Steel Samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect, Larry Butts, in here too.
Why is that the order you said things in? Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership?
But this owner wanted to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you?
That's certainly enough to shed suspicion on him. But it's not enough to charge anyone. If you're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that.
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi?
Are you accusing me of fabricating evidence? Because that's my pet peeve. Because my mentor, you see, that's my hero origin story, is my mentor was found out to be forging evidence, and things got complicated, and eventually I was accused of murder. You know, regular shit.
You think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do.
Allegedly. I have in fact known several prosecutors who fabricated evidence. I don't like prosecutors. I think that the way prosecutors view their job is nothing short of evil. They're always on the side of guilty until proven innocent. It's not something that anyone should ever assume. Supposedly, the very basis for our justice system is innocent until proven guilty, but that's rarely how it actually goes. So anyway, let's continue, shall we? This man has some serious issues with prosecutors. As do I. But come on, I can't think up something as complicated as that, right, Edgy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you. Or me, for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. And I can't blame him. Most of us suck. I am like the exception. Come on, Gaston, you can come back up. No, don't eat the mustard. I doubted it hurt you, but I don't want to take the risk without finding out first. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. Meaning that the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. I was the one who found the body of the victim, Damask 2. Or Damask the Second. I've been kind of flip-flopping around on which one I say. Damask 2 is easier. So you were the first to discover the body this time. This time? What's that supposed to mean? You better watch what you say. I only said this time because earlier Kay was the first to discover the body in Babel. And your secretary, Agent Sheena, was ready to accuse her of murder for that. Ha! So are you gonna use that excuse to call me suspicious now? No, man, everything about you is suspicious. Except your eyebrows. I trust those eyebrows. Of course not. I was simply pointing out the usual pattern with discoverers of bodies. But in the Babelese case, there was proof that she was holding the weapon, right? Well, in this one, it's a bit different since we know exactly where the weapon is. Which I'm going to say, even though we've already shown that the cause of death was blunt force trauma. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood.
Hold it!
Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood.
Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the tests, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was made to only be used on stage, so it's not sharp. Ah, here we go. Good, they are actually fucking getting around to that. But it's pretty weighty. It's certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death with. Which leads me to, why would a katana be weighty? The whole point with those curved swords is that they're light and easy to wave. Hence the wave sword mentioned earlier, I guess. Which leads me to suspect the victim was beaten to death with the sword. Beaten to death, huh? This last statement is too important to just let it slip by. Beside him was the samurai sword, covered in the victim's blood. I suspect he beat the victim to death with that thing. Interesting, interesting.
Hold it!
About this samurai sword, have you received a report from forensics yet? They confirmed that the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. All right, but have they confirmed that the outline of his wound is consistent with the weapon? Yeah. We are to assume that in fact the spear is the murder weapon. They're also light because that takes less iron to make. Right, Japanese pig iron. Hence the idea of folding and folding and folding to work out the impurities. Which they can't fold it too many times or it becomes brittle. I remember reading about all this when people were going like, oh, they have to fold the steel like 900 times or whatever. God, that was over 10 years ago that came up as a meme. But in actuality, you don't fold more than about like, I don't even remember how many. I think it was in like the low teens, any more than that, and it becomes too brittle to use. Alright, but have they confirmed that the outline of his wound is consistent with the weapon? Tell me something. Do you see the dead body right there in front of you? So if they were conducting the autopsy right now, shouldn't that body not be here? Well? Huh, I suppose so. I guess they must still be investigating the room. Meaning that it's possible he doesn't know about the piece of evidence's true nature.
Anything else you'd like to chit-chat about? No? Good, let's continue.
I don't like this man, but I understand where he's coming from. Anyway, we can shut him up right now, right?
Objection!
Edgeworth and Phoenix both have the most satisfying smug expressions. I adore these games' animations. As tiny as they are, they do so goddamn much with these just very simple characters, and that makes me really happy to watch. Fuck. Do you know what this is, Agent Lang?
It's a long spear, right? We used to use those a lot in my country, like a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down, spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history. It's the next most effective weapon after the whip.
I think the whip is in a slightly different category.
So what's your point? You gonna tell me that the spear is the real weapon?
No, I simply want you to take a look at this section here.
The way it's bent.
Precisely. Apparently, a certain troublemaker hit it against a wall wow, I just lost track of my tongue. Apparently, a certain troublemaker hit it against the wall in this embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the insides of the Steel Samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, they're replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow. Let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet there is not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Ah! That's kung fu, right? That's a kung fu guarded stance, because it's not karate. And karate is the only martial art I've actually done any training in. But I think that's kung fu because I think that's how Bruce Lee often stood.
Oh, yeah! The sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend real easy.
I wish they'd make them out of better stuff because the spear got bent. I wasn't able to do my special early summer rain jab move. Man, I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show. The Steel Samurai special move was changed tonight because of him. I love how offended Edgeworth looks at that.
Ow! That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back on the topic of the spear.
Did I just lose? Oh, I see what happened. I was like, did I just lose control? That's something that I ask myself a lot. No, I hit the mouse with my leg, so one of the buttons was held down and that stopped the controller from working.
Now back on the topic.
Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se. So all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Did you lose control and did you think you liked it? I kissed a girl and I liked it. Using guesswork and taking risks in place of real logic is hardly the von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever. Ms. Von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. But perhaps it's for the best if it remains unbroken, for no one should have conceived of the notion to convict all defendants in the first place. And boom, that's why we love Edgeworth. He's the only good prosecutor. In fact, you know what? You know what? I'm getting a screenshot of this. There. That is important to fucking remember.
Objection!
What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolish fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There's nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory. This is like really nailing the Japanese legal system specifically right here, but it applies in the US as well.
Hold it!
That may be your opinion. However, I don't believe that's all we are. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. And if that means that the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk on toward the truth. Oh my god, he's such a dork. I adore him. He's such a dork. Oh, he tries so hard to be badass. Oh, I want to pinch his cheeks. He's so good.
Not so fast!
You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed Damask 2 without bending it.
What?
So what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need.
Of course. What I need is evidence he can't refute. What I need is evidence that even he can't refute. Oh my god. I can't say refute. What I need is evidence even he can't refute. What the fuck? I can say it on its own. Refute, but I can't say it as part of a sentence. What I need is evidence even he can't refute. There we go. That was weirdly difficult. This is it. It's time to bring this to a close. I love clothes. Why Larry Part 2? Yeah, that sums up my opinion on the entire Ace Attorney series. The whole franchise. Right there. Why Larry Part 2?
It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but the victim's blood is only on that weapon. So isn't it only natural that the suspicion would fall onto the owner of said weapon?
How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory?
As long as I want, because we examined every corner within the walls of this embassy, so yeah. There's no stone we've left unturned. And we've managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. That the only place inside this embassy with the victim's blood on it, that the only place inside the embassy with the victim's blood on it is this sword.
Hold it!
You left no stone unturned. Is that a fact?
Not so fast!
If you've got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor.
Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it all crystal clear for you. See, that was pretty badass, Edgeworth. Go with that one. Why Larry, Part 2. It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone.
Hold it!
May I inquire as to how you're able to make such a claim, Agent Lang? Langji says, capable miracles beyond comprehension. A mysterious creature is man. Rather than man, it's Agent Lang's quotes that are getting increasingly incomprehensible. The human body is a mysterious thing. Even with a toy-like sword, it's easy to kill a man if you hit just the right spot. Oh my oh. I don't remember the fucking phrase. Damn it. I can say the English version, but it doesn't have the same impact here. You are already dead. Which is why I think it's possible to kill with this thing without leaving a dent. Omae wa mo shinderu. Thank you. Knew I could count on you, Bad Road. But if we can only be sure one way or the other by seeing if the wound matches the sword. Ha! I know that. But as long as it's a possibility, I can proclaim it as much as I'd like. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We searched the embassy. Oh, wait.
Hold
I'm
it!
supposed to press on these. And I skipped the second one. Roses are red, violets are blue. Omae wa mo shinderu. That's wonderful. That's so wonderful. The only place where you could find blood was on the samurai sword. That's right. Even with luminol. Which means, hey, we know who brought the luminol. Too bad she hasn't appeared again. Which means that there's no other possibilities outside of what I've already outlined. Wendy came back. Do I have a problem with Agent Lang's assertion that the samurai sword is the weapon? I guess? If you believe that there's no other door of possibility left to open, then allow me to force one open for you.
Not so fast!
Ha! And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what may possibly be the real murder weapon.
Not so fast!
It's the fucking statue, isn't it? The real murder weapon? I hate to repeat myself, but my men have already searched every last inch of this embassy. And they've concluded that nothing else could have been used as the weapon. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course. Because it's not possible that your men inspected everything in their investigation.
Not so fast!
What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games, and I don't appreciate it when people like you slander my men.
Hold it!
I'm not slandering, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out that their investigative dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on. And that item is the real murder weapon. All right then, I'll play along for now. The real weapon that killed Damask too. What exactly is it? The real murder weapon, which not a single person has yet to touch, is this. All right, we're gonna go to the break. Once again, if you want to support us, you can subscribe here, or you can head on over to patreon.com/ifwhen, which will get you access to art, music, shout outs at the end of the stream, you know, all that good shit. Pretty cool, right? All right, we'll be back in a sec. All right, we're back. Now we're gonna show Lang just how wrong he is.
Take that!
This is the weapon you're looking for.
Not so fast!
Lang Zi says one should always perform one's job in the proper manner, and I can't see how it's proper to show me evidence so devoid of potential or relation. Really? Is it not the statue? Now then, Mr. Prosecutor, I'm going to give you one more chance. Because that's the thing we were told we weren't allowed to touch. Did I get the clue wrong? Oh. Both statues are in here. Okay. That hadn't even occurred to me. Of course, it's this one. Alabast is a lot less dirty. It's been cleaned up, unlike the Babelian one. Aha. Aha. Which is even more interesting. So that works out. That works out real well. We picked a wrong choice, but that's okay. That happens.
Take that!
The national treasure of Alabast.
You mean the Primitive statue?
Yes, and as you know, only the ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which I believe means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it, correct?
Not so fast!
You know very well if we did that, there'd be an international incident between the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babel. The two countries' precarious relationship teeters in the balance over a stupid fight related to a sovereignty statue. But I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction the statue is facing just before and just after the crime are different. There's only one conclusion I can draw from that. What's that? It was knocked over and then picked back up and pointed the wrong direction.
Go look for Ambassador Alba and get him to give us the okay to examine the statue.
Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He is most definitely trying to trick you.
Shifu, please, let's be rational about this. Lang Zi says, just go already!
It got knocked down, but and got picked up again, but then it got turned around. That's good. I like that. Pissing the night away, or I guess bleeding in this case. Yes, sir! Shifu.
Yeah?
I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission for us to examine the Primadou statue.
Huh, I see. Wait, but then the investigation is at a standstill. Agent Lang, I will go and speak with the ambassador personally. Save your breath. He might act all weak and frail, but the old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you gotta be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know?
Agent Lang,
what do you want? Let's just hurry up and examine the statue already.
But Shifu, what about causing an international incident?
Quiet! I'll take the fall if I have to later.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine, so if someone is to take the responsibility, then allow it to be me.
Responsibility? If we're gonna talk in such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then, less talky-talky, more investigatey-gatey.
If we want to know the truth, we can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a luminol chemoluminescence test on the statue.
A luminol test? Oh, good thinking! If the statue is the murder weapon, then some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay, let's get the forensics team in here.
Oh, hey, guess who might be coming back now? Or not.
Ha! Looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. I guess this means that this is the real weapon that killed Damask too.
Indeed.
But I wouldn't celebrate yet if I were you. This does not let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill Damask too, so the charge remains.
We are hardly done examining the statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that it is the real weapon, I believe further examination is required. If we want to know the truth, this is Bat Country. You think so? Okay then, knock yourself out. You know, like what happened to Damask 2. Oh. There's a shield on his back. I wonder if that's supposed to mean his back is covered. Langji says those with a shield on their back deflect all enemies behind them. That's not even... That's nothing. It means he's ready for any blindside attacks that may come his way. I like the geometry seams too. Those are a nice touch. Agent Lang, there's no need to attach overly complex meanings to such a simple thing. You didn't seem to get Langji's saying, so I was explaining it to you. The saying itself is what I was referring to when I said overly complex. Groin. With his sword drawn and ready, there's a certain aura of valor around him. Langji says those who hold a sword hold an equally strong will. It's said that the weapon one holds reflects the strength and will of one's character. Huh. I wonder if this was created as a show of the country's majesty. Oh, then what does Francie's whip say about her character? It says that I'm ready to exact punishment on those who would break the law. Why are you glaring at me? I thought you understood I'm not the killer. I believe in your case, she wishes to exact punishment before anything else happens. She says examine both the sword and the shield. Okay, I got an achievement. Upon closer inspection, he really does look a lot like the Steel Samurai. Hey, maybe that's why they chose him to be the Goodwill Ambassador. I actually can't discredit that hypothesis. Or maybe the people at this embassy just really, really like the Steel Samurai. That's absolutely preposterous. I don't think it's that unlikely. We mustn't go around denouncing people's opinions. And yet, look at how easily you discredited mine. Not that I care why they chose him. Okay. Oh. Well, hi there, literal handprint. I wonder whose handprint this is in real life. Because that's definitely someone's hand. What do we have here? This dirty smudge. Looks like a handprint? What's a definitive bit of evidence like you doing under here? Looks like we got some fingerprints to analyze. Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry. But it looks like it's too late for me to do anything about that now. Hey, forensics guy! I want results on these fingerprints ASAP, you hear me? I'm going a bit Beetlejuice with him. Agent Lang, I have the analysis results, sir. Good, and? Sir, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, the victim of the murder is in the Babalese embassy. The prints belong to him, to Mr. Manny Cochin, sir. But that's... What's going on around here? No, that's impossible. Each Primadou statue can only be handled by someone of that country. But by the fact that Mr. Cochin's fingerprints are on this one, it leads me to only one conclusion. This statue is actually Babel's Primadou statue. Impossible, it can't be. Yeah. Larry never once set foot on Babalese soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only served to confuse us further. The ringleader of a smuggling operation was killed with an Alabastian knife in Babel. And Damask too was killed on Alabastian soil with Babel's national treasure. and the mystery of the great thief Yatagarasu who visited both countries. The pieces are there, but I had yet to see the big picture they were to form. I'm starting to get the idea. Da 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 da. That's it for this week. Wow, this is good. This is good shit, y'all. I like this one. I like this case. This is going places. It's keeping me all excited. All right, that's it for right now, though. We'll come back to this next week. Hey, if you want to support us, you can subscribe here on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/if_when_y, or you can head over to patreon.com/ifwhen. Get access to art, music, and shout-outs at the end of every stream. So thank you to our patrons, Sky, Antimonium, Melly Bassett, Kai, Nahum Wengrove, Angelic, and Willow Mist. You rock! Thank you. Thank you for continuing to rock. All right, next up, we've got schedule. That's the button. Tomorrow, we got Bad Road playing a thing. Here, let me just look at the schedule. Fucking hell. Bad Road playing Not Fez. Right, there's a new game coming. I don't know what Bad Road's streaming, but he'll be streaming something over on his channel, Bad Road. Actually going to do more Fez? All right, then. It's going to be more Fez. That's at twitch.tv/badroad. And then back here, it'll be 2 with more Tokyo Mirage Sessions, hashtag FE Encore, the fan service game. Basically, I think that describes it pretty well, honestly. Had Epiphany right after he cut stream last time. Ah, excellent. That's exciting. Finally, we got our YouTube channel. That's over at youtube.com/@ifwhenvod. If you're watching us there, maybe you could give us a comment to ensure that, you know, if you made it this far in the video, you can tell me what's your favorite, what's your favorite duck? I don't think we've done that one before. All right. Bye. Thanks for coming. Ducks.